Hello there and welcome back to Mega Man 2. In the last video we got to here. Obviously I had to replay to get here since, like, passwords don't save progress in the Wily stages and I didn't, and this is a new day. But I did beat the Mecha Dragon in one try. I failed to get on the ladder once, but once I got to the platforms I didn't fall. Thankfully. God, I was having a ton of trouble last time, and I was getting quite frustrated. I'm glad that I didn't. I'm glad that I ended where I did, and now I'm recording on a new day, so I have a refreshed brain. I'm curious how well I'll do here, because that's not generally a part I have trouble with. But there are a couple parts in the. I want to refill my thing. There are a couple parts in the Wily stage in this game that I do have trouble with, more so than almost any other classic game, actually. Despite the fact that I think this game is one of the easiest in the series, there are a few parts in the Wily stages that I genuinely, it feels weird to say have trouble with, because they're not really hard, I just make stupid mistakes, basically. I'm curious to see how well I do here, but it's weird to sort of because I just recorded a little bit more of X6 yesterday, and so it's weird to put myself in. It's weird to have to put myself in a different mindset when recording for the classic series here, because since I'm doing the two simultaneously. Or back to back, or like back and forth for me for recording. It's just weird that I have to sort of reframe my brain. Both to like do well, because they feel quite different, and just as far as commentary, because even just doing my intro about, what we did in the previous video, my brain is still like primed with what we did in the most recent, what I did in the most recent recording for X6. Because I don't have them sort of separated on different tracks in my mind. Because I'm not used to doing several series. I've been Let's Playing now for 2 months, as of yesterday. But I until just the last 2 weeks, I haven't done more than one series at a time. So it's really weird. Speaking of really weird, this boss is weird. It's just a series of small enemies that form from the cubes on the side. And by the way, I believe when the cubes change, I say cubes, like I'm thinking 3D, they're squares. When each of those squares changes as the enemy comes in, I think it's just an overlay, because if you pause, they're all complete. And then unpausing makes the ones appear used or gone. I always get hit by him. I can never remember exactly where they all come from. Only a few of them actually require active dodging. It's basically just keeping an eye out for where they appear, positioning yourself, and then they're weak to the bubble lead, obviously. Ugh. The flashing is kind of seizure-inducing. Because it's a black screen flashing pure white, I might fiddle with that in editing if I'm worried about that. I just thought I got a message on my phone. It didn't. But... oh, this level. You might notice that it doesn't refill your weapon energy. I don't remember if it ever does in the classic series, but it always does in the X series and beyond. Whenever you exit a stage, to be clear. I don't think I'm going for that. Oh, fuck. I didn't expect it to break both of them, so I just wasted that. Well, now I'm going for it, because I think it'll be net positive. Wait, why didn't that one break both? Okay, now I really don't understand how that works. Oh, it's okay. I can still get back up there. Forced to get hit, but it's fine. But yeah, it's like I was saying, it's weird to have to think about the Classic and X series independently of each other for my videos, because I'm not used to having two simultaneous things. I don't have them separated in my brain quite yet. I'm sure I'll get used to it over time, because now that I've started doing daily videos, I don't really want to stop that. I wasn't sure exactly when to start. These dudes look a little weirdly low quality. They look kind of like MS Paint, those jumping fish. Or that jumping fish? I thought there were several, but there was only one there. This part is hard. This is like one of the hardest little things in the game. Because you have so little time to readjust when the screen transitions. Oh, the E-Tank doesn't come back when you die. Even those don't. That's weird. It's weird how even little things like that, like what resets when you die, is not yet firmly established in this game. Because there are certain things that are pretty much entirely consistent. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't spawn last time. I guess I just didn't hit his area. There are certain things that are pretty much entirely consistent across all the platforming games in the series. Oh, so scary. I recommend on that first, the top screen there, getting as close to the spikes on the left as you can without touching them. That way you have less movement you have to make on the following screens. That's sort of my advice on that part. But, God, I have 3 different like conversations going on in my head here. This is an interesting boss. I think it's called the Guts Tank, because it's Guts Man. He's weak to the Quick Boomerang, which is Q. That's one of the ones that is the same, between both the boss and the weapon names. He goes down pretty quick. It's interesting. It's sort of a recreation of Guts Man, who obviously... Guts Man was made by Dr. Light and reprogrammed by Dr. Wily in the first game. But obviously that gave him... I'm saying obviously too much, I'm sorry. But that gave him enough knowledge to recreate at least Guts Man's design. And he appears in several different, like, mechanaloid, it's a Mega Man X term, but non-humanoid forms going forward in larger bosses and stuff. Here, you want to refill Crash Bomber. In this level, the boss requires Crash Bomber. You need to have at least like 7 uses of it, I think. One thing you can do is like there's certain things you can do in the fight that maintain if you die. So you can do those things and then respawn, come back, and then kill the boss. It's weird, and obviously I'll get into more detail. And this is also weird. There's these gaps where you can fall through, just like false platforms. I always come down here for this life. Having more lives is useful here. But it's really easy to get hit by him when you go down there. Usually I run into him, not just land and then get shot. But this part, I recommend using Bubble Lead. I never remember, and in general, that's a thing in this stage, is you can use Bubble Lead to see where the false platforms are, where the gaps are that you can't see normally. And that's a thing, there's not going to be any here because you wouldn't be able to jump over it easily. This is very similar to in Castlevania 2. There's a lot of false platforms there as well, and the sort of meta is to use holy water. It's weird to say meta in that context, but the sort of meta is to use holy water to show where what platforms are physical and which ones aren't. And in fact, that seems to be a thing that they realized in development, because holy water is the only sub-weapon in Castlevania 2 that doesn't cost any hearts to use. So it seems pretty clear that they knew that was an important tool. They were aware that making holy water cost hearts, well, it would be a bad thing. That was... Usually I make that jump, but I jump a little earlier. That was close. This little section with the moving platforms is cool. But back to what I... Jump too late. Gotta be pretty precise. But what I was saying before is I think I'll get used to having sort of two different series going on and having them separate in my brain. Sorry if I keep reusing the same phrases. It's just, I'm trying to, like, rewind to the same spot in my memory to continue what I was saying earlier, since I'm getting sidetracked by things happening in the game. And it's interesting to think about the sort of mental gymnastics that will be necessary when I get used to having several things going on, several more complex things going on at once. Like, oh! This is an important part to remember, that you fall off ladders when you unpause. Because yeah, that is a way that I have died many a time in this game. But like, say I'm doing two different Let's Plays at the same time again, like I am right now, but they're much more complex games than just these 2D platformers. And that's not to say more complex means better. I love the hell out of these games, but they're objectively less complex than, say, BioShock or Metroid Prime. Just to think of two examples I've been thinking about recently. And having more complex thoughts going on in my head for two different series, plus if I'm, like, doing consistent things on streams, and by that I mean, like, streaming the same games every week, maybe having even several games that I'm playing every week on stream, and just having all of that sort of going on in my head at once could be pretty difficult to keep track of. That wasn't very helpful. I will absolutely use an energy tank if I have to here, though. Oh, I have to wait for... No, it's draining in the cutscenes, it's fine. Oh, it actually waited until it finished before their health filled up. But yeah, so this is a set of 5 robotic things that are flickering something fierce right now. And, they can only be killed by the Crash Bomber. And these walls can also only be destroyed. Oh shit, I didn't realize that's bad. That's a problem. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize how low on health I was. The sprite flickering, honestly, was distracting as hell. But I am going to grind on these Mets, because I want to have full Crash Bomber going into that. The thing I was saying earlier, where you can sort of cheese it a little bit, is if you destroy the walls, they'll still be gone when you respawn, as long as you don't get a game over and completely restart the level. So you can just break them, kill yourself, refuel your Crash Bomber, and then kill them much more easily. Because you don't, I don't even know if you have enough Crash Bomber to destroy all the walls and kill all of them. If you do, it's real close. Why are they not dropping anything at all? This is so weird. I've done this many times. They usually drop things. That's nice, I guess. Not what I wanted. But you might notice that you don't actually have to break all the walls. Some of them you can just straight get around, like the one I jumped around. Just straight get around. Weird phrasing on my part. But so I recommend only breaking the ones you absolutely have to, and going for the middle right one last. Because you can easily get to that one without breaking a wall. But getting out of that area without breaking a wall is very difficult, if it's even possible. I'm not sure it's possible. Is he gonna... Okay. I was kind of hoping he'd drop some health. That'd be pretty cool, but it's fine. So that's usually what I do, rather than doing it in 2 runs. But I forget that they actually do decent damage, so you should be aware of that. Also, don't pause on ladders again. Remember that. The great way to get yourself killed. This part, as soon as you go down, you're able to just drop down onto that platform. Don't do this. Don't drop down like that. Go down the ladder normally. Be cautious. But if you don't immediately drop onto that platform, then you have to wait for it to move back underneath you. This whole section just basically requires patience and observation. Paying attention, knowing what jumps you can make and which ones you can't. And just, if need be, just waiting. Like, when you're able to skip forward, like, I think you can actually jump to that platform from right here, but it's risky, and I don't recommend it. You'd also have to wait for the platform to come around again anyway, because you can't get down there unless you just tank a hit to land on the spikes. And especially given that the boss does decent damage, actually, I don't really recommend that either. Oh, I have enough. And this part, as far as I'm aware, the only way to do this is to use one of the items. Item 1 might be possible, but very tricky. 2 is the easiest. 3 might work. I'm not actually sure if the item 3 platforms bounce on spikes or what. I don't have any flash, so I'm gonna take my time and kill them. This dude is really annoying. I can basically never kill him without taking at least one hit. There's another of the mecha dudes, isn't there? Ow! Yes, there is. Just gonna tank the hit, and I'm pretty sure I can take one hit. Oh, okay. It is better to... Shit. Take your time on them. I'm pretty sure I can take one hit right now, but I'm not certain, and I am a bit concerned, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a tank. Which means I'm basically locked into doing this on this run. God, the sprite flicker is real bad. They'll all flash before they attack you, but you don't have a lot of time to react, so I don't personally find that useful. But so, like, you have to break that wall. The only walls you have to break are the middle left and bottom right. Now what I'm gonna do is take item 3 and hop up here. And then I have to wait for it to disappear. Ooh, yes, this is just barely enough right here. If you don't do the cheese strat, you literally only just have enough uses with a full bar. It's crazy. But there we go. That's Wily stage 3. 4, right? That's 4. So they did 2 and 3, yeah? Because, yeah, I fought the dude that's weak to the bubble lead. Yeah, I'm on Wily stage 5 now. Which is the teleport room. And you can see the background. It says Dr. Wily teleport system E equals infinity, I think? And yeah, this is exactly what it seems to be. Unfortunately, you don't get a weapon tank refill. I say seems to be. If you've watched any of my X2 through X6, X2 through X5 series, and you've seen this, or if you just know the series, this is a teleport room where you do where you refight all the bosses. And like I pointed out before, 4 of them are weak to the Metal Blade. That's actually different than what I said before, but I'm not going to elaborate in case you don't know about a thing that's coming up. But I don't remember which teleport is who. If I start having trouble with this, then I will look it up. I have an image downloaded on my phone that is, it's from the Mega Man Knowledge Base wiki, and it's this screen with their profile pictures in each slot where they are. I believe this is Airman. Or it's Woodman. Yep, Airman. Thought so. For him, actually, I recommend not using his weakness when he's at long range from you. And then switching here and using it. I don't have enough now. Oh, that was so close! I mean, I have lives, right? How many lives do I have? I have 3 lives. I'm doing alright right now. But, important detail. There is a boss fight after this screen. And I'm trying to remember what exactly he's weak to. Atomic Fire is one of them, so don't use it on Woodman. I don't remember what his second form is weak to. It's Crash Bomber, so I'm a little screwed there. But, does he have a second weakness? I'm actually gonna check. Sorry, give me just a minute. No. So it is Atomic Fire and Crash Bomber. And it sucks, because you're not going to have Crash Bomber after the previous match. You literally can't have more than maybe 2 uses if you do the cheese strat. So, like, it's dumb that that's his weakness, but whatever. There is a boss fight after this, so be aware of that. Don't, like, burn through all your tanks expecting the level to end after this. The series is fairly inconsistent, but usually there is a boss fight after the refights within that level. Some games have the level end as soon as you finish all the refights, so you don't have to do another fight before you're at a checkpoint, but this one's not that nice. I think this is Woodman down here. Yeah. So I'm going to use the Metal Blade on all 4 of them that are weak to it. Oh, Quickman's going to be rough, because I don't have any of the Flash or the Time Stopper. Dick. There's a fight in one of the sequels that's based on Woodman, and this is Quickman? Oh, I really didn't remember. I thought it was Bubbleman. Shit. It's actually a little easier to understand his pattern here than in his level, because all of these fights are in flat rooms. Whereas in the actual levels themselves... Oh, I almost didn't have the ability to pause. In the actual levels themselves, the boss fights are in different arenas. Quickman is the hardest. He's usually the one I start with. That's why I thought that was Bubbleman, because I thought I start with the easiest. But no, I start with the hardest. This one's Bubbleman. There's a fight based on some of the Robot Masters from this game in a later game. We'll see it pretty soon. And in that one, Woodman's pattern is way harder. Because he doesn't telegraph switching. He doesn't telegraph when he's gonna throw the Leaf Shield. Oh, here we go. So I'm not gonna switch to the Quick Boomerang, because he dies in 2 hits to his own weapon. It's a fun little secret that you're just not gonna see, this Flashman, until the refights. And even then, why would you think to try that? Most bosses in the series and in this game are immune to their own weapon, but not Metal Man. And that's why half of the Robot Masters are weak to the Metal Blade. I feel like I'm talking louder in this video, so I might actually have to lower my own volume more than normal. Well, I don't normally lower my volume. Usually I lower game audio because it's loud. But I feel quite energetic right now. In part because I'm doing really well. I just shredded all those fights. So you want Atomic Fire for this, which means if you die, then you're kind of screwed out of using it. Ugh, it's not that hard to dodge. But yeah, 2 full charges will kill him. I don't think there's any weapon that's... What?! I had no idea. I don't think the balls did that much damage. I think it's because I touched him. I had no idea that it dealt that much damage. Shit, man. How much energy do I have left on the heat? The Atomic Fire? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The bars are 32, that's a quarter, so I can't use even a single full charge. Because, yeah, the bars are 32 units, I believe. So... I think it's the same as the X series. And that looks to be about a quarter. So that means that, a full charge uses 24 units, or a full charge uses 12 units. So that's why you can only do 2 full charges. Oh, that sucks. But I'm gonna lose the energy tanks anyway if I die, so there's no reason not to use them. With this fight, I recommend not attacking unless... well, when he shoots, immediately jump forward and attack. That'll usually let you avoid damage from his balls. But these ones bounce. They're also really hard to avoid. No, use a tank immediately now! Holy shit! Oh, this is going fairly smoothly. I looked away from the fucking game for a second, which is stupid. Oh, there we go. That was pretty good. Bummer I didn't get to use a Crash Bomber, but that's fine. So yeah, even though that was the skull on the map here, and not the last part, he flies away. I love that it traces a new path to a new skull. Such a fun fake out. Here, hold to the right as soon as you spawn. It'll make this level entirely, like, it turns it from being not too bad to entirely a non-issue. If you hold right there and you're on the right side when you land, then the timing is different, and you can just run ahead without having to worry about them at all. If you land straight down, then you will have to wait for each one to drop before you move past it. Here. He is weak to the bubble lead. And in fact, that is his only weakness, and his health will be immediately refilled if you hit him with anything else, including the Buster. I love that! Dr. Wily pops out of his capsule and transforms into an alien! Oh, it's crazy! It's fucking weird conceptual shit, man. It's a reveal. Dr. Wily is an alien! The pattern's pretty difficult here. Well, I say that. It's very consistent. You shoot to the same points every time, and you just want to find a pattern where you can hit him without getting hit. Something like this is very consistent. You can get more hits per cycle than this, but it's a bit risky, so I just recommend either doing this or finding your own groove where you can avoid and damage consistently. I don't remember how much weapon energy you need to kill him. I'm fairly certain I have enough. Wasn't paying attention before, but I'm pretty sure I have enough. It's not too bad to get, like, 3 or 4 per cycle, but he deals quite a lot of damage, so be very careful. Do not get overzealous. Take your time, go slow, prioritize dodging, basically. But don't necessarily, like, overlook a good opportunity like what happened there, where I was able to get an additional hit. He does a lot of damage. That's why dodging is the most important in this fight. Oh, it's actually fairly close on energy. Going out of my order here. Bit out of my element. There we go. You can't see it, but I got an achievement. The Mystery of Dr. Wily, which is the subtitle for this game in Japan. Yeah, it's not real. He's not actually an alien. It was a hologram. Which is why it's weak to the bubble lead, because you're short-circuiting it. I love this screen, and I love that after the thing shuts down, the globe then refracts the background. It's a really cool effect. What is that purple? Is that Dr. Wily's, like, socks? Whatever. We beat Dr. Wily again. Not bad, not bad. Honestly, I picked a perfect cut point, because I didn't fail much there at all, and we're at 30 minutes now, so it's pretty cool. I love this little sequence here, with Mega Man walking, with the music playing, the little background shot, and it switches between seasons as he cycles between weapons. That was autumn, this is winter. I wonder what the next one's gonna be. Spring, and the Quick Boomerang. Bubble Lead was winter. I think Atomic Fire was autumn. It's a fun idea. That's the air shooter for summer. It doesn't usually rain a lot in summer where I live. Maybe it does. But I guess this is later summer, so that was like the rainy season. Oh, the flickering kind of hurts, but it's a cool shot where you just see Mega Man's helmet on the ground there. But because of this sort of artsy ending sequence, this is the only game in the series to not have Dr. Light or Roll. Number 009, Metal Man. Number 010, Airman. That's their designers, I believe, which are children in Japan that won design contests for them. Bubble Man, I believe that started with this game. I don't think the first game did that. Quick Man, number 011, number 012, Quick Man, number 013, Crash Man. Sorry, I just wanted to say all the things, even if I'm not saying in order. Number 014, Flash Man. And it's not just number. Number 015, Heat Man. They are DWN. And then these numbers, DWN 016, Woodman, which stands for Dr. Wily Numbers. Mega Man, Roll, and all 6 Robot Master bosses from the first game are DLN or DRN in Japan for Dr. Right. There's Yuki-chan's Papa again. But for Dr. Light numbers, Mega Man is 001, I believe? Yeah. Roll is 002. And then the bosses from the first game are 003 to 8. So it's still multiples of 8, which makes it easier to remember. But since there were only 6 Robomaster bosses in the first game, I lost my thought there. Basically, I'm glad that Rock and Roll are in the same line, because it makes it easier to remember the numbers in the series, because they're just multiples of 8. Noise, presented by Capcom USA. But I didn't really do any kind of final thoughts there. But thanks for watching. This is fun. I'm enjoying doing these little series for the Classic series. These little LP series for the Classic series games. Obviously, I'm going to move straight into Mega Man 3. And as I mentioned, Mega Man 3 has a bit of what I'd call padding, but it's still really fun, and I'm excited to get into it. But so that's it for this series, though. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Mega Man 3. That went much smoother than part 2. That's fun. I'm excited to play some of Mega Man 3.